Well, after a week of glorious weather, today's the day we're due to leave, and it looks like normal service is finally resumed as Lake Como is consumed in torrential downpour. How very frustrating. Should we go now? I think maybe not. Apparently there's a mountain over there somewhere, but we can't see it because of the rain. But I suppose we'll see it in a minute when we're riding over it in the rain. Bloody hell. All pre-flight checks complete. We're ready to go. And the bike won't start. Ignition. We need ignition for starting. Remember ignition, kids. Oh, I've missed that sound. And that's it, we're away. Which way did he go? Goodbye, Como. Thankfully, the rain subsided in the closing moments while we were faffing about with bags and things. But as you can see, it literally just happened because the road is still soaking wet. Also, I've got waterproofs on standby just in case, although the weather forecast for Stelvio today, Il Passo dello Stelvio, where we are going, says partly cloudy, mostly sunny, 0% chance of rain until middle of the afternoon, by which time we should already be well on the way to Austria. So let's hope that rings true. So Leno, the place we've been staying in. Any interesting things were shot here? A scene of Star Wars, a scene in Casino Royale, and apparently Benito Mussolini was shot in that very spot right there. Who'd have thunk it? All completely by happy accident that we found these things. But the love scene in Star Wars between Anakin Skywalker and Queen Amidala of Naboo, plus the scene just after James Bond gets his nuts smashed in a broken chair, were all filmed in Villa Balbianello, which is just kind of down there a little bit. Oh, thank you very much. Which we didn't even know about until everything was already booked. Now, despite the damp conditions, it is still really warm. I think it's about 20 degrees. Oh, isn't it stunning? I mean, it looked a lot better in sunlight, but even in crap weather, this place is quite fantastic. But it was a fantastic week of relaxation, boozing, Italian food, walking around, sunshine, amazingly, and the odd funny thing. As you can see, throughout the region, there are what we would call zebra crossings. And on those zebra crossings, to most of us, it is widely accepted that pedestrians have unquestionable right of way. If a pedestrian puts his foot on the zebra crossing, you must stop. Not in Como. Not a chance. The other night we were walking down the hill, down one of these steepy, steppy, cobbly walkways that are littered around the place. And we came out to a road where there was a zebra crossing straight at the bottom of the stairs, stepped out to the zebra crossing, and the approaching car stopped dead. And we were all gobsmacked. Like, bloody hell. A driver's actually stopped for us. And it was at that point we realised it was a British car. And my stepfather in front of us there, Ian, he displayed amazing multicultural, multilingual prowess on this holiday. Him and my mum went to a cafe up the mountain one day, and they normally drink latte. So the waiter came over and he said, "Due latte." And the guy said back to him, "Latte blanco?" And my stepdad just went, "Si, due latte blanco." And was then joyfully surprised when they were presented with 2 cups of hot milk. Oh, he wanted a latte macchiato or a cafe latte, but he forgot the cafe bit. But the funny bit about that was, the day before, we went for an ice cream and he asked for latte flavour, meaning fior de latte, which is like cream of milk. The girl assumed that he meant latte macchiato and gave him a coffee flavoured ice cream. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. What a tremendous view. And I have to say, yes, it's raining today, yes, it's gloomy today, but I would much prefer, I think, that it's like this on the last day rather than us having crap weather all week. And hopefully all of this will be gone. It's been crazy, the weather actually. There's been a thunderstorm on the horizon every single night of the week, and there's been big angry looking clouds all around every night of the week, and most of the mornings as well. But the lake provides some kind of a crazy weather force field that the rain's never really gotten to us. And so we've been sat enjoying glorious sunshine by the pool or in the lake, watching it rain just a mile or 2 away. It's been fantastic. It's been the complete antithesis of all of my experiences with weather thus far in my life, I think. The rain is just out of reach, but it can't get me. F you, rain. F you, good and proper. So anyway, today, you may have noticed there is but one bobbly white helmet on that bike in front of me, and there were 2 when we came. That's because we sold my mum into slavery, and because of that we now own one of these villas. No, no, no. What really happened is that she's gone ahead in the car just for a bit of a more comfortable, and I know we're all thinking it, dry ride up to the top of the mountain, and then she's going to join back in on the way back down after that. So yeah, we're all meeting at the top of Il Passo dello Stelvio for lunch. First rev bomb of the day, first of many I would imagine. I had actually planned to take the baffles out for this ride, but I haven't had a chance yet. There was too much faffing because of the impending rain, coupled with the hurried exodus from our villa before the cleaning army came in and binned everything that was left not bolted down. Which reminds me, actually, the villa. It was a really nice villa with a truly breathtaking view, but it had some real odd quirks. One of which was that my bedroom was in the basement and you had to go down a tiny little fireman's spiral staircase to get to it. That was very strange. Oh, what are we doing here? We've got to give the keys back, of course. Right. See you in a second. As if by magic, we're on the move again. So yes, I had to go down a spiral staircase to get into the basement, which was fantastic because it meant it was always 10 to 15 degrees cooler down there being in the ground. It also meant it was really damp and the walls were mouldy. That was pleasant. But the funniest thing of all about the apartment was the fact that it had the same plug sockets as the hotel room did in Switzerland, which meant that my laptop didn't fit any of them. But that's not the funny part. The funny part is the whole flat had loads of appliances in it, as you'd expect. So it had in the kitchen a toaster, a microwave, a kettle, a coffee machine. Downstairs, because of the mold, there was a dehumidifier, there was a hoover, obviously. But all of these things didn't fit the plug sockets in the walls in the property. So we had to use a travel adapter to be able to use the kettle to make a cup of tea. And I had to bodge, this is the most backwards thing, I had to bodge my European plug into a UK to European travel adapter and then shove that into the wall in the villa, just to be able to charge my laptop and to use it while we were there. So backwards. I mean, why wouldn't a property have plug sockets that fit the appliances or appliances that fit the plug sockets? I mean, if we didn't have an adapter, we wouldn't have been able to do anything. That said, we went to the supermarket and tried to buy some fresh coffee to have with the coffee machine. They had coffee but no filters. This is Carrefour. Coffee but no filters. What is that about, Italy? You are the world of coffee. We've had some of the most amazing coffee. Like, I started drinking coffee without milk while we were here because it was that good. Yet in the supermarket, no chance. No chance. Anyway, all that aside, still sad to be leaving. But leaving we are. I think that campsite was the one I was supposed to be staying at with the Binkelhofer 2 years hence. The doomed trip that never really happened. I actually just tried to take my baffle out as it happened, and the friggin' screw rounded off, which now not only means I didn't successfully take out my baffle, but it's in there rattling around like a prick in a shirt sleeve. We're just going to shoot out at any point when the bolt finally gives up. I think the nut that's welded onto the baffle has actually just come loose of it. Well done, Hurrick. Thanks very much for top quality manufacturing there. The second time I try and remove it and it's shafted. Brilliant work. Oh, look at that. The roads are drying right out. Although now it's raining again. Oh, 6 of one and half a dozen the other, isn't it? Dry roads, wet sky. Cremia. So now we're pretty much gonna probably about a quarter circumnavigate the lake, and we've done quite a hefty chunk of it already, but I'm going to be going all the way around the very top of the lake and then off up into the Italian mountains. A little bit more rain, splendid, just what I was after. Perfect. The perfectly timed tunnel. Back out into the rain. Dongo! Couple of other lads there with luggage on their bikes. What do you reckon the chances are they're on their way to Stelvio? Yeah, things have got a little less picturesque up here at Dongo, haven't they? Look at that, some Deutsches. That is a wide load, isn't it? So those boxes are half the size of them ones, but they're just as wide. I think I've got away lightly with my thin setup on the Versys here. They're not that wide really, are they? But I guess that's the luxury of having an underslung pipe. Underslung? Yeah, my pipe is hung, y'all. It's very musical. Filtering, filtering, filtering on Como. Filtering, filtering, or else you'll go in slow-mo. Look at this beastie. Just goes on and on, doesn't it? The lake that never ends. I could literally spend forever here. I really could. You've got the water there, which means that it never gets really cold. It never gets really hot. You've got all of these mountains which have some absolutely fantastic roads. We came across a bunch of them on the way here. I mean, we're just a stone's throw away from the Alps. It's just so beautiful. I've changed my mind. You can keep Stelvio till later. I'll do that another day. I want to stay here. We did think about riding all the way around the lake, a complete circumnavigation, but without traffic and without stopping, it was going to take 4.5 hours to go all the way around. And until today, it's been pretty bleeding warm as well. But yeah, we decided to knock that on the head because it would have been 4.5 hours of doing 50 to 80 kilometers an hour in beating sunshine. But we're getting a lot of that journey now anyway. So take this, times it by 4, that's what we would have had. Ooh, look at this, we actually get to go over a little bit of the water. That's exciting. A little snippet of lake crossage. Not the prettiest bridge in the world, is it? Well, that's it, the lake's gone. We're now heading into the mountains. And they are proper mountains, aren't they? That is like a wall of green in front of us. Just make you wonder how people looked at that and said, yeah, I'm going to build a road over that. Should be easy enough. I'll have it done by lunchtime. 24 degrees, blinking heck. Doesn't look like it, but it does feel like it. Look at this. It's awe-inspiring, isn't it? When you're just sailing straight towards a mountain range. Although I think we just kind of weave in and out of the valley for the first few miles till we get to Bormio, and then it gets twisty. Making a fresh tunnel. The river of rocks. I bet that is proper full of water in the winter when the snow's just melted. There's another one of these pretty bridges. Wonderful. Coventry chic. Isn't it lovely? Yeah, live in a bunker. Oh, bit of sunshine. Probably all we're going to get today, but take it. Cheers for showing your face. Bleeding rain though, as we come into Montagna in Valtellina. It's really, really warm rain though. It's odd, sticky, I don't like it. Moistness. Look at that. It's been just kind of like a crazy suburban semi-industrial sprawl. Basilica Madonna di Tirano. Yeah, just for the entire length of the valley, just ongoing suburbia with industrial estates and factories and nothing much else. And of course these great big mountains either side. Yeah, there's a nice change of scenery to find some knackered old stuff. Thank you very much. Not quite sure of your motivations, but okay. Well, with Tirano done, I think the next town is Bormio. And after that, the pass begins. Look at that. It is getting bendy. My arse is starting to get sore with all that straight action. A week on the sunbed and I've forgotten how to do bends. It feels so insignificant with these mountainous monstrosities either side of us. Just leaning in, looking like they could just topple over and crush the valley in a second. I feel the valley tightening up now, getting closer together. We must be very close to the end of it. Oh, there's a wicked draft coming up this tunnel. This tunnel is immense. And into another one. Oh, my ears popped then. It's tunnel-tastic. Alright, joke's over now. Enough tunnels. This is just ridiculous. This tunnel does not end. We're just going to come out in Austria and that'll be the end of the day. Bosh, finished. 200 kilometers in a tunnel. Oh, is that light at the end of the tunnel? Or is that just slightly brighter lights in the middle of the tunnel? It just goes on and on and on. Oh my goodness. We're actually at the end. Ah! And there's blue sky. We've actually come out in a whole other world. Look at this. So that was the tunnel to Narnia. Who knew? Crazy the difference though. Suddenly the mountains are rocky with pointy trees on the left. Whereas before they were all green and bobbly, like they had a nice fluffy green blanket on them. Now they're all craggy and mean looking. We're obviously in the proper Alps now, kids. So this is Bormio, the last town before Il Passo dello Stelvio. And we've actually got a little bit of sunshine on our backs. I've been looking forward to this very moment for quite some time. Finally, we get to ride it and potentially not get wet. Although the air temperature is considerably cooler. I have to put a jumper on before we actually do it. I may have to actually empty my bladder as well, otherwise I could very well wee myself of excitement halfway up. Bloody hell, it gets twisty straight away. Ah, Bormio. So we're 1,225 metres up. Right, let's have us some Stelvio.